and gentlemen, my name is Captain Lee, and I've had a bit of a minor revamp, and I hope you enjoyed the new look. Happy 2026 everyone, and I thought I would lighten up the Doctor mood with a mini-series that you Matt Smith fans might remember. It's NightAnd The Doctor, which is a DVD mini-series. There's also the NightAnd The Doctor mini-series starring Paul McGann and John Hurt, a really good Stephen Moffat mini, and that was for the 50th. Before I begin, I want to say that the Star Wars episodes will be starting on 7th February, which I'll explain in the end. Due to the hiatus of Doctor Who, I want to bring a mix of content from series discussions to certain topics, but that's still to come, and I'll try and share any updates on the show as soon as it's announced. Let's start off my thoughts on NightAnd The Doctor. So the miniseries is basically 11th in his evenway tales of Tuxedo trying to have a date with River Song, which is a major theme, but he's seen in a variety of moves whilst Avon is trying to get him to listen to her as she has an issue which we learn about. It's kind of good chaos and another dose of wimp-itis from 11. Yes, I'm introducing the word wimp-itis again. And 11 is a wimp, in my honest opinion. My little headcanon. Plus, there is a 5th mini by Tom McRae, but it's not part of what I want to discuss. Let's introduce our beloved characters. There is a Doctor, out at night, like a party animal. There is Amy Pond, who wants to have an honest discussion with the Doctor. Then Roy Williams is being woken up because the Doctor is lazy to have a chat. Finally, there is River Song going on a date with her husband and subject to his shenanigans as he's trying to sort a lot of things and save the day. This is a weird scenario, friends, but it's life when you're stuck with the Doctor. What I find iconic is that the Doctor tends to be out of his singular brown treat at the time. As this was released in 2011, he shows up in evening or formal wear, as there's no way to describe it. The Doctor has 2 types of evening wear. Unlike 10, who always seems to opt for the black tuxedo, which he rocks, 11 has the top hat and tail symbol, the white bow tie version, and the white tuxedo, the black bow tie edition. I like this idea as he looks handsome, and I like seeing that 11 is more of a night owl. That saying, 12 had 24 years in one night, because 11 was too wind up to do that certain element, but it has to be said, and we'll get to that later because it's very interesting. Before I focus on the 3 main characters, huge shout out to Arthur Darvill, as he may not have been known for long as Roy. I still think he was iconic, he was great, and Roy is such a legend. Honestly, I would love to see more of this on TV. Karen Gillan is brilliant as Amy Pond. Amy goes on a roller coaster of adventures, but we see her exasperate because Mr. Lazy won't make time, as my girl Yasmin Khan would say, as he's too busy. Manners, 11! Where are your manners? Yes, as a certain Miss Roberta would say, everything you need to know about manners. We miss you, Stefan, we miss you. Karen brings the emotions well, and that's why I love her. Finally, in Good Night, the Doctor finally stops being lazy and takes notice of Amy's situation, which surprisingly he knows. I can astutely observe, like myself, he struggles to understand, to word things, which is kind of complicated, but his problem is more with complicated things like timey-wimey stuff. Amy's situation is complicated as she says, my life doesn't make any sense, which is because of 2 separate timelines, my friends. I like that there's trauma for Amy, especially being in this position of having 2 lives and how it's affected her. I love her unamusement when the Doctor manipulates her for an ice cream. She is mad, and good for her. Alex Kingston, who recently came 6th on Streakham Dancing with Johannes Rodderby, marvels as River Song, or as I put it further, 3 of them! 3! That's Moffat for you. I love it said on River's first date with the Doctor, and then 2 other Rivers out of sequence show up. River 2 is Egret, but River 3 has a twist. I love that she already has the Doctor with her. Or is he telling the truth at all? Or is he lazy? Or is he just selfish? Or is he afraid of letting go? I get the expressions of the 3 Rivers. It's quality entertainment for me. The sense of River 2 to the curious mind of River 3, or River 1 who is oblivious. It's so good. Time! Matt Smith shows a variety of emotions, and that is why he entertains me. He's a jack of all trades, like Shurigawa as 15. Same thing. As I've said, he's lazy, he's too afraid to talk about things like 13, who the podcast loves, and next episode I will be touching on this. You tease Leigh. He's avoiding important topics like when Amy wants to talk to him, he is just avoiding the conversation. 11, don't be a wimp. You're insensitive, you're too late, and don't be a fool, man. That's why I love it. This is the stuff, not concentrating, which I will admit drives me nuts. That saying when my guy is on point, he's on point. I love it. When he talks to Amy, he talks about memories, and it's defining what he has to do with when time goes wrong or Ori. And his speech about memories is so important, and persuades Amy to take him to the on like a kid. He is a kid. Matt's performance in Last Night is one of those standout moments. I think it's super emotional. I talk about Jodie Whittaker, I talk about Shikawa, Peek About It, etc, etc. But I haven't had the opportunity to talk about it with 11 on here yet. This changes now. It's a beautiful moment that is continued in the drum scene in The Husbands of River Song. Yes, it's your classic cop-out, but it's nice to see our Doctor get a moment of reality as it's going to happen to him one day, as we know. But it won't be for a while, so that's why it's a bittersweet moment for me. He's lucky, but he won't be as we see with our beloved poor gentleman, 12 Meister. My goal is a maestro, and I've been talking about him a lot on the podcast recently, and he aces it with some of the most iconic tracks in this miniseries. Fish Custard and The Sadman with a Box, which is used quite a lot in a lot of the mini episodes for those emotional moments. They all fit their respective scenes that they're used for. It's brilliant, so I'm going to give a huge shout out to Murray. Thank you, you did a fantastic job once again. It's time for my Stephen Moffat segment. I love him for his tactics, with his writing, and I have a huge respect for him, making me feel like 11 is a lazy one, as we have to have different personalities for each Doctor, in my opinion. If they were the same, that would be very lazy, so that's important. Stephen amused me, and as a fan of certain elements in his era, this gives it the full package now his era is over. And I'll say something next episode, because it's very similar. And finally, it's time, mon amis, the hilarious fake-out Darillium scene and why I love it. At the time, the two matched me, and River teases about Darillium. The Doctor's emotions are important, as Doctor 1 is still in early days, but it's good to see him tense at this time, even though it's just his first date. Then Doctor 2 teases spoilers. Is he going to do it or not? Or is there a bit of laziness, a bit of apprehension? I don't know. The proof is we see the pleasantries between both Doctors at the end, which I find exciting, as it's good to see a strong conversation, as it's often a clash because they disagree. Sometimes when they meet, as the Doctors can clash, they're both in an emotional state this time, and it's needed for a scene like this. Speaking about lasers and Darillium, I will be doing a video on Instagrammers with Leigh in February, so stay tuned, as there will be a deep dive, not just with 11, but with Peekaboo's 12 as well. I can't wait to release, as this will be interesting. Did you enjoy NightAnd The Doctor? Comment down below, or first to on social media. Also, please subscribe to this channel as well. I will be doing quite a bit of content this year, and if you want to stay up to date, please subscribe. So hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications. I'm happy to announce my protest decision in Star Wars Podcast Day 2026, the annual Star Wars Podcast Day, and sticking with this year, it's a Mando-themed episode, so I will reveal more at the end of the next episode, which will be me discussing the Top 2 2022 special starring Jodie Whittaker. What did I think? Did Chris Jimmo and Stephen Akinola end on a high? You'll find out very soon. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in my next episode. Goodbye, everyone.